This is DD India and you're watching Express News, a program where we bring for you top 100 news of the day. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Let's begin. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar met the Prime Minister of Luxembourg, Luc Frieden, on Tuesday, and Jaishankar praised Luxembourg's role in strengthening India-EU ties. The two leaders discussed the growing cooperation between India and Luxembourg. At the invitation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Federal Chancellor of Germany, Friedrich Merz, will pay an official visit to India on 12th and 13th of January. Prime Minister Modi and Chancellor Merz will also engage with business and industry leaders and exchange views on issues of regional and global importance. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday lauded the successful commissioning of Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited's residue upgradation facility at the Visak refinery in Andhra Pradesh, describing it a decisive leap in Bharat's journey towards energy security and self-reliance. India has issued a travel advisory urging its citizens to avoid non-essential travel to Iran until further notice, after Iran is facing the most serious wave of unrest in 3 years as nationwide protests entered their 10th day on Tuesday. India's Chief of Army Staff General Upendra Dwivedi on Tuesday addressed officers of the UAE National Defence College. In his address, the COAS underscored the impetus to technology in modern warfare and highlighted strong bilateral, multilateral defence cooperation between India, the UAE and other regional partners. India's Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal inaugurates CSR conclave at Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi on Tuesday. The conclave aims to deliberate upon collaborative, innovative and sustainable strategies to combat malnutrition among children. Regional AI Impact Summit 2026 was held in Rajasthan's Jaipur on Tuesday. The conference underscores Rajasthan's growing ambition to position itself as a hub for digital innovation and emerging technologies. At the event, India's Minister for Electronics and Information Technology, Ashwini Vaishnav, highlighted the importance of AI in our day-to-day lives. Addressing the event, Minister of State for Electronics and Information Technology, Jitin Prasad, said that artificial intelligence is bringing major transformation in human life. Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan released 55 scholarly works to advance India's linguistic heritage and strengthen classical languages, which is a significant achievement for the nation's intellectual consciousness on Tuesday in New Delhi. These works, presented in Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam, Odia, Tamil and Sign Language, position India's linguistic heritage at the center of education, research and cultural pride. The minister termed this release as a valuable contribution to India's intellectual literature. Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution Minister Prasar Joshi attended the 79th Foundation Day of Bureau of Indian Standards in New Delhi on Tuesday. The minister arrived in a hydrogen car that reflects the future of clean mobility. Addressing the event, Prasar Joshi said that the Bureau of Indian Standards is not just an institution, but a powerful legacy that has shaped the nation's journey. At the 79th Foundation Day of BIS, Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami praised BIS for 8 decades of work in quality, reliability and consumer protection, saying it truly reflects the mantra, quality is identity. The Uttar Pradesh Cabinet, chaired by Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, on Tuesday approved incentives to attract semiconductor companies willing to invest 3,000 crore rupees or more in the state, aiming to boost high-end manufacturing and generate large-scale employment. The Madras High Court's Madurai Division Bench on Tuesday upheld a single judge's order allowing the lighting of a lamp claimed as Dipatun on Tiruparankundaram Hill. In Madurai, Tamil Nadu, local people celebrated after the Madurai bench of Madras High Court upheld an earlier court order. The Election Commission of India on Tuesday released the draft voter list for Uttar Pradesh after the special intensive revision. Out of 15.44 crore voters, names of 12.55 crore have been retained in draft. Reduced by 2.89 crore names, the state recorded the highest number of deletions. The Indian naval ship vessel Kaundi continued its voyage on day 8 of its sail. The sails filled and course steady, carrying India's maritime heritage across open waters. 42 students at Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya in Odisha were affected by suspected jaundice. Authorities suspect food contamination as the cause, and precautionary measures have been implemented. On to business news now. Indian benchmark indices ended lower for the second straight session on Tuesday. Nifty was below 26,200, declining 72 points at 26,179. The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange declined 376 points to close at 85,063. At the forex market, Indian rupee ended higher at 90 rupees 17 paise against the US dollar on Tuesday. Gold futures maturing on 5th of February were priced at 138,226 rupees per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for February 5th maturity stood at 249,137 rupees per kilo on the MCX. Indian Railways has achieved 99.2% electrification of its network as of November last year, a milestone in its modernization drive. The system has also expanded solar power capacity, reducing reliance on fossil fuels and boosting sustainability across operations. Brent crude oil futures edged down to $61.6 per barrel on Tuesday. Robotics, autonomous technology and AI monetization are set to dominate CES 2026 in Las Vegas ahead of its opening. Media previews highlighted next-gen AI chips from NVIDIA and AMD, signaling the tech show's growing focus on artificial intelligence. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang announced at CES 2026 that its next-gen AI chips are in full production mode, delivering 5 times the power of previous models. He highlighted Alpameo, NVIDIA's open-sourced autonomous driving software developed with Mercedes over several years. AMD CEO Lisa Su showcased the company's latest AI chips at CES 2026 ahead of its opening. The demonstration highlighted AMD's growing role in AI infrastructure, with OpenAI President Greg Brockman joining the stage. Ousted Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro appeared in a New York court for the first time and pleaded not guilty to all charges against him after US captured him along with his First Lady in a military operation. The judge ordered them to remain behind bars and set a new hearing date of March the 17th. Venezuela's parliament swore in Delcy Rodriguez as interim president 2 days after US forces seized her predecessor Nicolas Maduro. Venezuelan opposition leader and Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Corina Machado on Monday said that she will be returning to Venezuela soon. Machado also vowed to turn Venezuela into the energy hub of the Americas. The chief spokesperson for the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights on Tuesday voiced deep concern of the dramatic US operation in Venezuela and said that states must not threaten or use force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state. Colombia has reaffirmed its commitment to collaborating with the United States in the fight against drug trafficking, using American intelligence and technology to enhance efforts. Leaders from France, Germany, Italy, Poland and Spain, Britain and Denmark issued a joint statement on Tuesday reaffirming that Greenland belongs to its people and that only Denmark and Greenland can decide on matters concerning their relations. Prime Minister of Greenland, Jens Friedrich Nielsen, assured citizens that while Greenland seeks to strengthen economic ties with the US, they should not fear an imminent takeover. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen has cautioned that US President Donald Trump must be taken seriously. She reiterated that any move to take Greenland by force would dismantle 80 years of transatlantic security. Germany's Foreign Minister Johann Vadeful stressed that Greenland is a sovereign part of Denmark and, by extension, a member of the NATO alliance. French President Emmanuel Macron and Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky met on Tuesday ahead of a meeting of the Coalition of the Willing Summit in Paris for security guarantees for Ukraine. Macron welcomed Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney in Paris ahead of a Coalition of the Willing meeting. Representatives of 35 countries, including 27 heads of state, will gather in Paris to discuss security guarantees as they press ahead on the US brokered plans to end the conflict with Russia. Swiss local authorities admitted on Tuesday that fire safety inspections had not been carried out for the past 5 years. This news should read as: Swiss local authorities admitted on Tuesday that fire safety inspections had not been carried out for the past 5 years at a bar where 40 people died and dozens were injured in a New Year blaze. More than 30 farmers from the CR Farmers Union in Lot-et-Garonne, southwestern France, set off for Paris in their tractors. French farmers are upset with the government for several reasons. About 50 farmers from a group called Coordination Rural showed their anger by blocking part of the A84 highway in northwestern France in the Manche area, as the government is not helping farmers at all. Thailand's army said on Tuesday its Cambodian counterpart claimed fresh cross-border fire was an accident after Bangkok accused Cambodian forces of violating a 10-day-old truce with a strike that wounded a soldier. During his 4-day visit to China, South Korean President Lee Jae-myung met with Chinese Premier Li Keqiang on Tuesday. The leaders agreed to promote cooperation in high-end manufacturing, AI, and new energy. In Bangladesh, a Hindu woman has alleged that she was gang-raped, tied to a tree, and brutally tortured in Kaliganj Upazila of Janedia district on Monday. In another incident, a Hindu businessman who was also the acting editor of a newspaper was fatally shot in the head by unidentified assailants on Monday in Jessore district in southern Bangladesh. The US on Monday dropped the number of vaccines it recommends for every child, leaving other immunizations such as flu shots open to families to choose, but without clear guidance. After results were announced on Monday, Central African Republic President Faustin Archange Touadera has won a third term in office, securing an outright majority in the December 28th presidential election. We are heading into a short break here on Express News. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Stay tuned to DD India.
This week on Defence Dynamics, India is reshaping its military structure with Bhaira formations. What are ramjet-powered artillery shells? And how India's rocket punch gets an emergency boost with Suryastra. As Europe and Israel turn to India for industrial depth, my take explains the why. Watch Defence Dynamics this Wednesday at 8 p.m. IST only on DD India.
near the heart of India. A land filled with surprises. In the mighty force of...
Welcome back. You're watching Express News on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Let's resume. The India Meteorological Department forecasts persistent dense fog across northwest, central, east and northeast India, with cold day conditions intensifying in isolated pockets of Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh, Rajasthan and Jharkhand. Dense fog disrupted train services across several parts of India, with over 70 Delhi-bound trains delayed due to low visibility. Dense fog in parts of Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh, with visibility dropping to zero, is disrupting transport and raising safety concerns. The IMD advises caution, with relief unlikely before January the 8th. Tabo in Himachal Pradesh and Gulmarg in Jammu and Kashmir recorded the coldest night of the year, with temperatures near -10 degrees Celsius, with light rain and snowfall expected in isolated areas. West Bengal is under a severe cold wave. The IMD says relief is unlikely over the next week, with temperatures expected to drop further. A 6.2 magnitude earthquake shook western Japan on Tuesday, with the epicenter in eastern Shimane prefecture. No tsunami warning was issued and there were no reports of major damage. An earthquake of magnitude 4.0 shook Afghanistan on Tuesday. The quake occurred at a depth of 100 kilometers, with no immediate reports of damage or casualties. At least 16 people have died after flash floods hit Indonesia's North Sulawesi on Monday. The floods were triggered by heavy rain on the island of Siau, with 22 people injured and nearly 700 villagers displaced. Heavy snow and icy conditions disrupted travel across parts of UK and Europe. Rail networks in the UK and the Netherlands were hit, with hundreds of schools closed. Snow blanketed Paris on Tuesday as icy weather swept across northwestern Europe. Authorities issued yellow weather warnings for cold and slippery conditions, with traffic disruptions reported. Fireworks and a drone show illuminated massive ice sculptures at the opening of China's annual Harbin Ice and Snow Festival, drawing thousands of visitors to the northeastern province of Heilongjiang. China's 42nd Antarctic expedition entered full-scale scientific operations using drones and advanced imaging technology to conduct geological surveys around Zhongshan Station and collect multi-dimensional terrain data. The icebreaker Shualong delivered over 1,400 tons of supplies to Kinling Station before departing for New Zealand, as the 19-month mission launched from Shanghai in November 2023 continues through May 2026. Vietnam has opened its first large-scale multi-sensory art and entertainment complex in Ho Chi Minh City, allowing visitors to experience immersive 12D plus installations engaging multiple senses. Vietnamese communities in Japan gathered in Osaka for the Homeland Spring Tet of Great Unity Osaka 2026 celebration, marking the Lunar New Year. The event highlighted unity among Vietnamese associations in the Kansai region, showcasing achievements of the past year while promoting cultural identity and community ties. The Doordarshan district in Turkey celebrated the second annual Buzluk Snow Festival at Buzluk Nature Park. The Snow Festival, held spontaneously after the first snowfall, featured live drumming, traditional dances and tractor-assisted sledding, drawing locals to winter celebrations. Cape Town's annual Tweed Nouveau Jaar Minstrel Parade filled the streets, drawing crowds to the colourful cultural celebration rooted in 19th century traditions. Pope Leo formally closed the Catholic Church's Holy Year by sealing the Holy Door at St. Peter's Basilica. Holy Years are held roughly every 25 years and are marked by pilgrimage and forgiveness. Danish toy maker Lego unveiled a new interactive smart brick at CES 2026 in Las Vegas, allowing Lego builds to react with sound and motion using built-in sensors. Lego also revealed a new Star Wars product line developed with Disney, featuring smart bricks and smart minifigures that unlock reactions and mini-games, launching March 1st in select markets. California-based startup ARC introduced the ARC Sport EV, an all-electric wake sport boat designed to reduce noise, emissions and maintenance while delivering high-performance water sports. The 23-foot ARC Sport EV features a 500-horsepower electric drivetrain and up to 6 hours of use per charge, with plans to expand into other electric marine vessels. Residents of Mexico City celebrated Three Kings Day, enjoying cake and receiving toys as part of Epiphany festivities, marking the visit of the three wise men. On to entertainment news now. The makers of the Bollywood film Rahu Ketu released the film's trailer, intensifying anticipation for the upcoming comedy starring Pulkit Samrat and Varun Sharma. Bollywood film Ikkis earned 1.35 crore rupees on day 5, making the total collection of 21.5 crore rupees in India. Bollywood film Dhurandhar has completed a month at the box office. Worldwide, it has grossed 1,240 crore rupees, making it the second highest grossing film of all time after Dangal. The makers of Toxic, a fairy tale for grown-ups, unveiled the first look poster of actress Rukmini Vasant. The film is set to release on March 19th and also stars Kiara Advani, Nayanthara and Tara Sutaria. The crime drama series Mayor of Kingstown has been renewed for a 5th and final season. The upcoming season will be shorter, consisting of 8 episodes. The new season of the rom-com Emily in Paris, starring Lily Collins, has been announced. The 6th season follows strong viewership of the recently released 5th season. Royal Mail has unveiled 14 Stranger Things themed stamps to mark the 5th and final season of the hit series. 10 stamps feature main characters in both the real world and the alternate upside-down dimension. Designed by British artist Kyle Lambert, the stamps include UV features revealing series logos. They will go on general sale on January 13th with a presentation pack of all 14 stamps priced at around £25. American singer-songwriter Bruno Mars confirmed that his new album is complete, marking his first solo project since the Grammy-winning 2016 album 24K Magic. Michael J. Schumacher, the Wisconsin author known for biographies of Francis Ford Coppola and Eric Clapton, as well as works on Great Lakes shipwrecks, passed away at the age of 75. And on to sports news now. Dominant Australia ended day 3rd of the 5th Ashes Test against England at 518 for 7, taking a formidable lead of 134 runs. Australian batter Steve Smith became the second highest run scorer in Ashes history. He achieved the milestone during the 3rd day of the 5th and the final Ashes Test. Mohamed Salah scored after 124 minutes to clinch a 3-1 extra-time victory for Egypt over plucky Minnow Benin in an Africa Cup of Nations last 16 thriller in Agadir on Monday. Defending champions Ivory Coast is set to face Burkina Faso in the last 16 match of Africa Cup of Nations on Tuesday. Algeria and Democratic Republic of Congo also finalized training preparations for their Africa Cup of Nations last 16 encounter on Tuesday. Chelsea has confirmed that French club Racing Strasbourg's English coach Liam Rosenau will take over the new manager role of the club. American tennis great Venus Williams' warm-up before her return to Australian Open did not get off to a nice start as she was beaten in 3 sets by Magda Linette at the Auckland Classic on Tuesday. Serbian great Novak Djokovic has withdrawn from next week's Adelaide International Tournament to focus on being ready for the Australian Open. Players at this month's Australian Open will compete for a record prize pool as organisers announced a 16% hike in the total purse, which soars to $75 million. Last year's Australian Open finalists Madison Keys and Arna Sabalenka started their 2026 campaigns in style with victories at the Brisbane International. Nick Kyrgios's long-awaited singles comeback at the Brisbane International ended in a straight sets defeat, with Alexander Kovacevic prevailing 6-3, 6-4 on Tuesday. Belgium advanced to the United Cup quarterfinals with a stunning win over Canada on Tuesday. Top-ranked Indian shuttler Lakshya Sen progressed to the second round of the season-opening Malaysia Open in Kuala Lumpur. The second day of the 22nd edition of the Khelo India Beach Games is underway in the Union Territory of Diu. And 11-year-old racing prodigy Atika Mir has become the first Indian to secure a top 5 finish globally on debut during round 7 of the UAE Karting Championship in Abu Dhabi. That's it in this edition of Express News. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.